Everybody. This is Michelle with From Nine to Thrive, and today is Freedom Friday. And here's what happens on Freedom Fridays. I get to talk about things I want to talk about or things that you've asked me about. So keep that in mind as we go forward in the year, that if you have questions or you want me to talk about something, this is the day that we do that. And today, this Freedom Fridays episode is all about exploring the bluegrass festivals in Maryland. And why Maryland? And why bluegrass? First and foremost, I live next to Maryland, and so we travel in and out of Maryland a lot because we're on the border. And there's some really cool festivals that happen in Appalachia with bluegrass. And bluegrass offers this unique experience to enjoy music. I go to wine and jazz festivals, first and foremost for the wine, second for the jazz. And there's a different vibe when you go to a rock festival or a bluegrass festival. I think it's fun to explore all these festivals and just get the vibe of the people and the experience. So I encourage you as you start to expand and live in your mind and start to visualize what your life is going to look like as you start to escape that 9 to 5 and build a life that you really love. What are you going to do with your time other than managing your business and running your business? But we have to build time in for our life. And I just love live performances and festivals and fairs and just experiencing them. It's a way to bring that small town feeling into a local place. We used to go all the time to the Sheep and Wool Festival. Not that I do a lot with yarn or anything, but it was just cool to see the vendors and see all the crafts and the food trucks and the music. And it was an experience. And so I think it's a good time to be had by exploring these. So I'm sure you're aware of what bluegrass is. Bluegrass music definitely has its roots in the United States. It's a blend of Appalachian traditional music, folk music, country music, and you can hear a lot of the influences as you start to listen to bluegrass. I am not an expert on bluegrass. I occasionally will put the station on in my car. I find it takes my mind somewhere else. And I find that I find melodies and it connects itself to a lot of different other genres of music that I listen to. So I find it exhilarating to listen to. You have artists like Del McCoury who are still active in the bluegrass scene, but there's a lot of up and coming young people who are embracing this genre of music. And so, much like jazz, they have bluegrass jams. And so people are invited to come in. I had a boss one time who actually played the fiddle or the violin, but he played the fiddle. And he did attended a lot of these bluegrass festivals and weekly would attend bluegrass jams. So just like a jazz jam, people would get up and they are able to play and just riff off each other. It's a cool thing to hear. And it's a cool way to hear these musical collaborations of somebody's take on a classic or just ad-libbing it. So Maryland, like I said, is really a cool place to explore for not only bluegrass but other adventures. It's centrally located, so if you're in the DC area, obviously you're going to be close to Maryland. If you're in West Virginia, you're close. Virginia, you're close. So it's got a great proximity to a lot of things that you're probably close to. And Southern Maryland's history is rich in music culture and it's a hot spot for the festivals. Even though I'm in West Virginia, there are a lot of other places that are probably better known for their bluegrass, but there are festivals in West Virginia as well. So I did a little research, and what I found was there are a lot of options, no matter where you are, to look for festivals. Outside of Darlington, Maryland, there is a Ramble Festival, and it's held at Camp Ramblewood. And this place is, I think, 200 acres, and they do it right. They bring in shuttle buses, and they have the whole event planned out. They have theme nights, and you can stay off the location, and they can shuttle you in, or they you can rent a campsite. And so if that's in your thing, that would be something to check out. I'm not sure Mr. Coffee would be willing to sit in a campsite for 3 days. Mr. Coffee's a little bougie. For those of you who don't follow along a lot, Mr. Coffee is our dog, our grand dog that we now affectionately have with us all the time, and he's quite a bougie little dog. If you're in the Baltimore area, and we like to go take the granddaughter out to the Baltimore area, there's an amazing aquarium out there that you can explore. And Baltimore is just a really cool city to fly into or drive to. It's always affectionately known as Charm City, and they have the Charm City Bluegrass Festival, and it's out on the Baltimore Peninsula. And so they offer this on the Baltimore Peninsula bluegrass jams. And so that's usually a 2 day event, and they bring in all kinds of artists and places like that. And they do a lot of Maryland's top bluegrass bands play there. Since West Virginia is on the border, there are other festivals that you can, if you're staying in Maryland, you can head over. The West Virginia Branch Mountain, I found, Bluegrass Festival usually occurs in May, and it's in Moorfield, so it's pretty centrally located to the eastern seaboard. And so those are some places to check out. What I found as I started to do some research and look around is no matter where you are in the country, be it North Carolina, anywhere, you're going to find a bluegrass festival somewhere, because this is something that I think people are pretty excited about. And then you're going to find places that offer Third Saturday Bluegrass Series. So I found some in Maryland, I found some in North Carolina, I found some in Louisiana, I found some in West Virginia. And so what that told me is there are a ton of places that I need to put on my list this year to go explore and check out, just to see how these festivals are and these jam sessions are. Of course, you can follow, and I found some of these out on bluegrasstoday.com. But there's obviously just do bluegrass festivals near me in Mr. Google, and you're going to find all kinds of cool things. So this is what I'm looking forward to as I explore these bluegrass festivals this year, and why they're such a good time. I mentioned them before. It's not just about the music, but it's about the people. You have the vendors there, and you get to meet people who are living their best life. They tour, they play music, they create things, they do these festivals, they have food trucks. They're living their best life. And I think as we are trying to escape our 9 to 5 and live our best life, we need to be around that community of people who are doing things and being positive and uplifting themselves. Additionally, if you're taking your grandkids or your kids, it's family friendly. You don't really have to worry a lot about of what's happening. It's for ages of kids of all ages. It's a place to go relax. It's a place to unwind. It's a place to let your mind wander and figure out, okay, what's my next steps? And of course, you're there for the music. You have the live performances, musical collaborations, and usually some awesome jam sessions, just like you do at jazz festivals. So to plan your visit, here's what I'm looking at doing. I'm going to figure out some weekends that I can go. I either have to board Mr. Coffee or figure out where he's going to be. But or maybe it's a day trip. Maybe I can find some place up in Pittsburgh or someplace near that I can just go up for the day and come back. But of course, Mr. Google is always your friend of where to find things, and that's what I'm going to be doing and checking them out. And I'll be reporting back to you guys saying, okay, this is how I did it. And I'll tell you what, it inspired me. This is who I met. This is who I talked to. And that's where I'm heading for a lot of times to these festivals is what can I learn from not only the experience, but the people that I meet. What's working for them, what's not working for them, and what can I take home and try to apply in a lot of things that I do in my business. A word of advice, and this is what we always plan whenever we do these festivals or we attend any type of event like this, is we always have chairs in the car. I always pack snacks and water, and I always leave room for maybe a change of clothes, a change of shoes, because who knows what the weather's going to do. So check out bluegrass festivals near you. It's an opportunity to connect with the community. It's an opportunity to meet people. It's an opportunity to get out and explore maybe a new place that you've never been and might whet your appetite to come back. So this is what Freedom Friday is all about. Letting our mind wander and say, okay, if we didn't have to be at work on Monday? Where would we be and what would we be doing? And how could we take our business with us if we can do that? And how can we put systems in place to make sure that we are truly living a life that we want to live? And the life I want to live includes a lot of travel and exploring. And so if I think that's what you're here for too as well. So head over to from9tothrive.com. There's lots of resources over there. Sign up for our newsletter so that you are up to date on the latest things that we're doing, that we're talking about. Check in on our lives and everything, and stay tuned for so much more. In the meantime, like I said, it is Freedom Friday. You guys keep on thriving. Do what you need to do to make today a great day. Take those small steps so that Monday you've made some progress. And if you want to schedule some time with me, head over to From 9 to Thrive and book a coaching session. I'm here to help you get where you need to be. In the meantime, you guys have a great Friday. We'll talk to you later.